It's February 28th, 2024, and today is 1 year since I had my total knee replacement surgery on February 28th, 2023. So, how am I doing? Well, let me put it this way. I can do anything I want, but I still have considerable discomfort, mostly in the muscles just above the knee, and also a little bit, what I think is a tendon pulling on the femur just below the kneecap. So, and that's quite a bit of discomfort. It's quite uncomfortable, but I can sit. I was in the car today. I had to take my wife to a doctor's appointment, and I was in the car for 3 hours and 45 minutes without getting out today, and I managed it without any trouble, although my knee was pretty sore when I got back. And sitting in the car while my wife was in the doctor's office, which was for the better part of an hour, was quite uncomfortable, but I managed it. Flexure. Have I had any issues with flexure? Well, I measured my flexure this morning and it was 132 degrees. And I can straighten my leg out completely, no problem. What I'm doing now is every night when I go to bed, I do about 15 fairly significant knee bend exercises. I do a bunch of stretches. Then if I wake up during the night, I repeat them. I do them again in the morning when I first wake up, and I do them at least once during the day to keep my knee flexible. Now, I don't have any signs of an infection in the knee. It isn't warm. It does get a little swollen during the course of a day, but nothing like it did right after the surgery. But it is uncomfortable, and it does still hurt a little bit. Not so much that I need to take any pills, although last week I made an experiment, and for a couple of days I took an ibuprofen. 3 hours later I took an acetaminophen, and 3 hours after that another ibuprofen, and so on for about 36 hours. And yeah, it reduced the pain level, but that's all it did. My knee still felt pretty much the same. So I don't know why it still hurts. I don't know what's wrong with the muscles. I do see the surgeon next Friday on March 7th. So that is my date to find out what he thinks. That'll be my 1-year visit. Originally, my 1-year visit was scheduled for today, but I had to take my wife to the doctor today, so I had to reschedule it, which happened, the day I got the appointment. So that's where we are. It's been 6 months since I last saw the doctor. I do notice that if I take an elastic bandage and wrap it around my knee, it doesn't have to be particularly tight, that the knee does feel better, but just that little bit of constriction makes the muscles above the knee ache a lot more. And I also, when I do that, get a fair amount of tingling in my foot. So that messes up the nerves going down into my foot. So yeah, I'm not 100% by any means, but last week I walked about 10 miles. So, it would have been more, but we had snow on the ground for about the first 4 days of the week. So that kept me from walking. I still don't take chances with slipping in the snow. And unfortunately, we're supposed to get some more snow tonight. I did not go out and walk today because I was in the car for 3.5 hours, which, did impact me a little bit. So the knee is doing okay. The flexure is good. I think 132 degrees is the best I've done for bending my knee. I don't think it's going to get better than that. I can kneel. As I mentioned in a video a couple weeks ago, I got a flat tire on my Ram 1500 pickup truck, And since we don't have any road service or anything like that around here, I had to change the tire myself, which involved crawling under the truck several times to get the spare tire out from under there, get the jack situated, and then get down on the ground beside the tire to remove it and put the spare on. So, you know, and that was, no fun, but I could do it. I did take a 1-inch foam pad and use that to kneel on the driveway with, but I could kneel on it. I could put my full weight on my knee, and I didn't really have any adverse effects after that, except my knee was a little bit sore. So, I can do whatever I want. If I want to go for a 2 or 3 mile walk, I can do it. My knee will ache afterwards, but I can do it. And just 2 days ago, I went out and walked 2 miles, and the last mile I picked up the pace dramatically and walked the last mile in about 15 minutes. So, the strength is there, and the leg, is okay, but there is something screwed up with the muscles around the knee. Like right here, sitting where I am, my knee feels very tight, going right over the top of the knee, and just below the knee there's a sort of pulling sensation, and I think that's where a tendon attaches to the femur. And the muscles just above the knee are a little sore from sitting with my leg bent in the car for 3.5 hours. And like I said, I didn't get out of the car. I sat there in the driver's seat for the whole time. So, that's an issue. I do notice that if I load my knee to the side, like right now I'm sitting, if I pick my foot up and lift my foot up to the left side, that my knee does feel it a little bit. I don't know why, but it definitely does. I mean, it's a little bit painful, but not anything agonizing or anything. I can handle it without any trouble. So that's where my knee is 1 year post-surgery. Now, I was hoping that by now I'd be walking around without any issues. My knee would be just fine. And the knee joint itself does seem fine. I don't have any problems with it. I can bend it. It's all the muscles around the knee. I've thought that I might be having a mild allergic reaction to the metal, but I had a blood test Monday, a complete blood count that includes a look at the white cells and the specific white cells that tend to react to allergens, the basophils and eosinophils, were completely normal. Matter of fact, my blood count, with the exception of my lymphocyte count, which is up a little bit because I have leukemia, not because of my knee, was completely normal. There are no issues with the blood count at all. So, my neutrophil count was fine. So if I had a significant infection in there, my neutrophil count would have been elevated, and everything else would have been up as my system tried to fight the infection. So I don't think I have an infection, which is good, because an infection is probably the worst thing that can happen to your knee. Usually it involves what they call a revision, which means they take the prosthesis out, disinfect your knee, and then maybe after a couple of weeks put a new prosthetic in, which basically means you're probably going to be laid up for those 2 weeks, because without a knee joint you can't really walk around. So anyway, I think it's okay. I'll find out for sure when the surgeon has a look at it, and we'll see. I'm hoping that he'll x-ray it and take a look and see if everything looks okay, and we'll just see what he has to say. And if I'm really going to go out and I know I'm going to push it, I will take an ibuprofen about 45 minutes before I go out, and that does help, but it isn't necessary. For example, I haven't taken anything like that for a couple of days, and my knee feels not too bad. I mean, right now, yeah, I can feel some discomfort in the muscles, but having said that, The knee is not at all sensitive. I'm running my fingers over it right now, putting a fair amount of pressure on it, and there are no spots where it's sensitive or even feels particularly swollen. Maybe a little bit of swelling on the outside of the knee. And I'm saying that because I'm feeling both knees right now, and the right knee does feel slightly puffier than the left knee. So maybe there's a little swelling in there, but it isn't much. I mean, it is nothing like what it was when right after surgery. So I think it's doing pretty well. I wish it didn't hurt. I wish it wasn't still uncomfortable. But as I said, if I want to go for a 3 or 4 mile walk, I can. If I need to get down on my hands and knees out on my driveway, or when I get my boat back in the water, I can do that. And I don't think that that's going to be an issue. It's no fun to get down on my knees, but I can do it, and I'm hoping that next Friday the surgeon will say, okay, just more time. Or maybe he'll give me a shot or something to cut down on the discomfort in the knee, maybe a steroid shot or something like that. One thing I will say is when I wake up in the morning, my knee feels fine. And I can do, the bending exercises and everything are easy, and there's no discomfort with them, and that's when I can bend my knee the most. Now I probably can't get much past 125 degrees, and it's about 7:30 at night. And I've been on my feet since before 7 o'clock this morning, or sitting in the car, which constrains my knee to be in a comparatively uncomfortable position. Anyway, I can't find anything wrong with it except that there is the discomfort that is continuing. It is getting better. The month or even a month ago, I was having a fair amount of discomfort on the outside of the knee, and that seems to be mostly gone now. Now it's mostly in the muscles right above the knee and where I believe the tendon attaches to the femur just below the knee. So that area seems to be the most sensitive. So we'll find out what the surgeon wants to do, and who knows, maybe I'll end up back in physical therapy, maybe he'll give me a steroid shot. I have no idea what's going to happen, but I don't think I need anything more than that. And certainly at this point, given how long it takes to schedule anything, I don't think I want to do anything radical to the knee until next fall. Simply because it would mess up my summer too much, which is the best time of the year around here. So that's where I am with my total knee replacement of my right knee, 1 year since the surgery. And I'll come back again after I see the surgeon and talk a little bit about what he had to say and what things are looking like for the next few months, because that's going to be dependent on what the surgeon tells me needs to happen. Okay, thanks for watching.